1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. Right, good evening and welcome to the Amateur TV Net, which is held every Tuesday night at 8 p.m. Now the best way to watch the net is through a set-top box, like one of these. GT Media V8 Pro, about under $50 on AliExpress or eBay, so there's no excuse, so you can watch the net. And during the week when the stations come on, this is the one I would probably get, the GT Media V7 Pro, and all you need is that and a vertically polarised antenna, and some people are even just using their FM antennas, their dual band FM antennas, but you'd have to be pretty close to do that. So stations that have checked in on RF, Bob didn't check in tonight, but I'm sure you're watching. Bob 3BVR tonight, Mark VK3PI, James VK3HB and Dave VK3JDA. And also I'd like to acknowledge that James VK3ZSJ was on yesterday, and I think the day before, and was showing some really nice videos on the digital modes, which was really good. I watched it right through. It was really quite interesting. Okay, this evening we're going to have on Peter VK3BFG. Peter will be up first. He'll be putting across to Richard VK3VRS, and then Richard across to Steve VK3TTF, and Steve back to me. And then I'll announce the stations for RTV2 when they put it back to me. So everyone please switch across to Peter VK3BFG. Not sure whether he's up. I can see his logo up. So if you're ready, Peter, please take it away right now. Please switch to RTV1.
Well, good evening everyone. I'm Peter, VK3BFG in Wantirna South. I think the audio is going through here okay. It was Simon actually, VK3ZSJ, who came up after quite a while, yesterday I think it was, which that video. So it's really great to see Simon back. He's down in Tooradin, so he's a fair way away, but he told me yesterday that he was only running about 600 milliwatts. So yeah, that's pretty good. Also, to welcome VK3QL back. His segment last week was really good, and we all got 3 out of 3 for the test because it was pretty easy. But it's great to have Ian back, that's for sure. We missed him. And while I'm saying the g'days and hellos, hello to Dave, VK3JDA, who popped up on 147.4 there and logged in. And Dave, of course, has been around for a very long time, and back to the analog FM days, and I think also the AM days. But it's had a big house change. He was brave enough to knock his house down and totally rebuild it. So yeah, it'll be good to see Dave up. He's got a DVB system that.
Yes, AM days.
Right, Dave. AM days. Yeah, he's got a DVB system to get going. So we're looking forward to having Dave on the net in the not too near future. So that'll be really good. Regarding the BATC streamers, I just got a email from Phil, and he's got them home, and he's looking at probably keeping them there and keeping them running. And apparently he's got the bandwidth to do that. So we've just got to work out a key system. And the query that Phil just made via the emails was, does the strong boxes give a key line anywhere? Well, I haven't really looked at all, but we can have a look at some of the ones that we've got and see if we can get a key line out, so that that might key up the streamers for Phil. Also, during the week, Neil and myself and John ATV went down to Geelong and met with the Geelong guys down there, and it was really a really great occasion. Very friendly to keep up with Rob and what he's doing, and also to meet the other members of the club down there. Peter, the president down there, certainly knows what he's doing when it comes to repeaters. He's had apparently a long experience with those, so that will come to the fore very much. So, and they're looking to get the receive antennas up in the near future, and get the receive system running, probably piping through to the BATC streamers, and also I've got a plan to send RTV over there as well, and vice versa, to have RGL and RTV linked via SRT, and having sort of local stations taking priority for their repeaters, of course. But if one repeater is idle and the other one comes on, well, your signal will go through the one that's idle as well as the one that you're using. So that'll create a little bit of interest, particularly when you've got to get receiving on 2.4 gigs. And I got my 2.4 gig dipole here and down converter, but it's got a local oscillator of 1838, which brings it down on 573. I must mention to Rob that he probably needs to put a 0.5 on his frequency, because all of the frequencies in Australia seem to be 0.5 for some or other. I mean, we're 445.5 for the same reason. But anyway, these are the down converters that you're going to need, and a bit of a dish. Not sure that I'll be able to receive them in Montana South, but certainly the guys in the western suburbs will be able to, for sure, and some in the eastern suburbs as well, and maybe the southeast. So it'll create a bit of interest, that's for sure. Got a short video here just to show, just for interest. It's a testing thing on low pass filter that we used to have on RTV. It's not there at the moment, but it's not a bad filter. So if you stand by, we'll put that one on. Mod problem with the new receiver on 1278. So I thought the addition of some additional filtering would help, as I've found that the harmonic output from the transmitter is more than what we would like. Anyway, this is a 7-pole 400 meg filter or 450 meg filter, and it's actually got a dual directional coupler at the end of it. So I've got one line of the coupler coming out to an output, so we can monitor output if we need to from the filter. But this filter is going to go in the line between the transmitter and the DVB-T filter. A little bit surprised that the DVB-T filter is passing harmonics, but it is. But it's certainly doing its job in terms of the close-in third order products. It's a very sharp looking Bart's head that's coming out of the transmitter. So from that point of view it's good. Anyway, let's see how this one stands up as a low pass filter. We'll put it on the test bed and see how it goes. Well, we'll reset the Rigel signal generator out at the 445.5, as you can see there, and I've got the leads running out across here and to there. We've got the coupler there and back in, so we're just checking for the loss in the leads basically, and there is a very, very small loss there, but we'll adjust for that so that we've got the correct kind of readings with respect to the filter test. Well, we've now got the signal generator connected with those leads, compensated for a little bit of loss there. We just adjusted so that we're reading the output at 445.5, and there it is. It's it plainly sitting at plus 10 dBm output. So let's go to the second harmonic, which will be 891 megs, and see what we see there as a response. We've now set up 881 megs out of the Rigol, and coming over to the analyzer, there's the second harmonic, and that's down about 48 dB, which is a pretty good result really. Okay, the next test is to see where the third harmonic might sit, which of course is 1336.5. So we'll set the Rigol to that frequency and see what we get as an output. Okay, as you can see there, we've got the SIGGEN set at the third harmonic. So let's go and have a look, see where the third harmonic sits. Well, there it is, sitting right down at the bottom, and we're looking at 10, 20, 30, 40, 50, 60, probably about 65 dB down. So that's a pretty hefty reduction on the third harmonic. So I think we will put this filter in and see how that may improve the inner mod problem that we seem to have. Okay, that's about it for tonight for me. I think we're now going to hand over to Richard. So Richard, VK3RTV to take it, and I'm on DVBS, so the changeover should be pretty good. If you start rolling now, Richard, we'll take it from there. So over to you there, Richard.
Good evening, everybody. Get it right now. Oh dear. Live television, don't you just love it? That was fascinating, Peter. I almost forgot to start transmitting. I was still mesmerised. So it's always very interesting stuff. I've got fairly boring stuff tonight. I dug up a video that I probably played a year or so ago. And of course I've got a lot of videos of Hamfest, but this one was a good one. Peter will like this one as well, so I won't waffle too much, because I know Steve's on after me and he's probably got a few little goodies to show us, so I'll just put this video on now and we'll see you after the video.
moment. I'm almost away. Business is quiet. This is a good time to come in and get yourself a lovely jam, cream, just $2. Wonderful. There's a lot of
Gonna go. Hello, everyone. Oh dear, I played the wrong one. Very confusing. Yeah, that was part 2 of a part 1. Anyway, fun games. Yeah, I haven't got much else tonight. I'm sort of about this deep in work at the moment with other bits and pieces, so trying to establish a new swap meet. So it's yeah, quite time consuming. Good news is my shack is pretty much, well, I'd say 95 to 97% finished. There's a few little tweaks here and there that I've got to do, but at least that's operational. Only other big projects I've got for the future is to change my microwave tower. That's a big job, so it's going to be a little while away, and I've got to build those few projects, but I've got plenty of other things to do before I get to that, so hopefully I'll get to that soon. Now I believe Steve TTF is on after me, so I'm going to go to the U-Butte colour bars or TV pattern, and Steve, then you'll be able to transmit after that. So short but sweet tonight. Thanks guys, and we'll before I go, 16 viewers on YouTube at the moment, and we've got 3 on Discord, so hello to everyone there, and I'll acknowledge everyone. I see Ian's on both, and yes, I like my blue shirt, although you can see the green screen is just trying to bleed through a little bit on it. So very good. Anyway, that's it for me. So see you guys, and Steve TTF is on next. Thank you.
Hello. Yeah, a bit of a shaky cut over there going from T to T, but all good, all good. You just give the transmitter a couple of seconds break and it seems to come good. I'm Stephen, VK3RTV. It's been a couple of months since I was on. I think my last transmit was actually the QSO party, so it has been a little while. A few little updates and bits and pieces. Haven't been doing a lot of amateur radio sort of stuff lately, but this last week it's all gone gangbusters, so I've got a few bits and pieces to show. The first thing I actually want to chuck up is actually a video from, again, a couple of months ago, not long after I think I transmitted last time. There was a meteor in Melbourne, and I think with the absence of Clint 3 CSJ transmitting tonight, here's our little space bit for the night. If I just cut over to this one, we're actually on our way home from dinner and actually caught the meteor in the sky. You can grab it there just on the screen. So I was actually lucky enough just on our dash cam to grab that one. So if I go back, play that one again, yeah, lucky enough to grab that one. So that was interesting to see on the way home, wondering what that was. And yeah, that was the meteor. I don't think they've found it yet. They were looking for it up, I think, Bendigo Ballarat way, but there's been no sign of where it actually landed. So interesting, but yeah, got to see that one, so that was quite good. That was the non-amateur radio stuff. Now I've got a bit of a show and tell, I think, tonight. I bought this. I haven't set it up yet. I'm actually waiting for an adapter. but this is a 430 to 450 megahertz UHF. So I'm going to try and rig this up, since I'm only sort of 12-ish Ks from the repeater. I'm going to rig this up to receive ATV. Hopefully it's powerful enough. I've got mastered amp, but the main thing is it's UHF socket on it and gamma match. So I'll just set that hopefully up for the higher end of the frequency range this is designed for. But at the moment I've got one of the really big JK UHF antennas. It's like 2 meters long up on my roof, and in the wind it just blows around and rattles and shakes and vibrates, and it's not really great. So I'm hoping, given I'm fairly close to the repeater, this will actually be enough. That was, I think, about $50 delivered. Quite expensive probably for a little bit of metal, off your favourite Chinese website. And it just ships to you. It comes to you in a box. You just assemble it. So I've got 2 of them. This one I might use for sond hunting and things like that on an SDR, because they're in that sort of range as well. So that'll be pretty interesting. I'll see how that goes probably in the next couple of weeks once my little adapters arrive, because I'm running RG6 quad with an F onto the current antenna. I'm just going to adapt this so it's got an F on it. I'm not going to worry about impedance matching just for a receive. Yeah, that should be an interesting one to try. Next thing on my agenda, so I'm going to flick over to Shaky Cam, which is actually mounted on an arm today. I'm not sure if you guys are aware of these little USB cables, and yeah, it's just USB-C to a DC plug, but the difference is these use USB power delivery. So even though this is USB, you can actually get 12 volts up to 5 amps depending on your power supply. So if you need to run something that's 12 volt off just a USB-C power delivery little battery pack or whatever like that, you can get your 12 volts out to run whatever you want off that, just with a cable. This doesn't do any power conversion. This is just literally sending the signal to the power supply to say, hey, I want 12 volts. So literally you don't have to worry about it being so small and handling 5 amps. It's not doing any conversion. All the conversion's actually done in the power supply. So that is quite a useful cable. I've got a couple of those. I actually use one of these cables with a Y adapter to run both my GT Media V7 boxes that you heard at the start of the stream. I'm running 2 of those off one of these cables off a USB power supply. They work really well. So if you don't have those, you can get them in different voltages. Obviously you can get 5 volts as well. I think you can get 9 volt, 12 volt, probably a 20 volt, but obviously not all USB PD power supplies do 20 volts. So just something to be aware of. But yeah, that's a really handy little useful piece to add to your kit if you don't have one of those. And literally hot off the press, the next thing, I'll move that one out of the way, is this arrived today. So I got one of these to play with. I don't have an All-Star node as yet, so this is sort of new. But I've programmed it up. I literally got it was programmed in the first 10 minutes after I received it. Chucked a frequency in it. It's just an all-sync little box, just USB-C on one end. I put this little label. It's got LEDs in the side here. I think they've actually reused a box probably for a micro SD card or something like that that's meant to be in there. But there's actually some LEDs in there. So I opened it up and actually put a label on what all those lights actually mean. Both sides, just in case, depending on which way I pick it up. So I'll be programming that one, having a bit of a play around with it, hopefully the next few weeks as well, just to see. That was about $80 delivered. I might chuck the link up on our Discord if anyone's interested on that one, to go and grab one of those. Thank you to, I think it was Fan Park, sent out an email about these, and yes, I went and grabbed one. So yeah, I actually bought some of the CM108 chips to actually build my own and make a radio and everything like that. But yeah, I saw those. I'm like, I'm going to take the shortcut. And that's actually what's inside it, if you want to know. So it does have the CM108 chip. The chip down the bottom, the plastic dip, that's just a CH340 serial IC. That's used for actually programming the radio chip, the SA818 radio chip, programming in the frequency and tone and everything into that. So depending on which way you plug the USB cable in, USB-Cs, you can plug the cable in either direction. These are actually made that if you plug it in one way, you can connect to the serial, plug it in the other way, it's the audio device. So they've actually sort of used that to your advantage to programming it. So you do have to make sure you plug it in the right way to do what you want with it. But that's a cool little box I will have a play with in the next few weeks as well. But yes, currently I think they're on special, about $80, just a touch over $80 delivered here in Australia. So quick and easy way, and that's a 1 watt output on that one, so plenty enough around the home and bits and pieces to keep you going and just get it up and started pretty quickly. The next one I've been working on is probably the biggest project. I'm actually working on a little receiver box. So for ATV, at the moment I've got multiple receivers and splitters and capture devices and HDMI bits and stuff all over my desk at the moment. So I'm planning on chucking that all in a box, hiding the mess away. But as part of that, I actually wanted to have a look at the GT Media set-top boxes. And I actually got to a little project, and here's a picture with the oscilloscope and everything all hooked up to it. On the front, obviously there's the little LED display which displays a channel number on the front. It's got the infrared receiver and things like that on it. But what I did notice is on here, the actual signal that goes to that is a clock and data signal. So I wanted to actually investigate what was in that, and actually go into the front display thinking there's got to be a more expensive model that has more information or something on the display. And there is a little bit more information actually being transmitted to that front panel that isn't displayed. And doing some work over the weekend, I actually found out there's an extra byte transmitted over that. It sort of uses a quasi I2C sort of protocol, and it transmits an extra byte that's just ignored by that front panel. And one of the bits in that one appeared to be a signal carrier detect bit. So I actually did write some software and programmed a little tiny AD5. I've also used those in my ATV controller recently. Programmed that up, and I actually had a light that would come on when there's actually ATV signal being received by the set-top box. These boxes don't typically have that light, so that was interesting to add onto there. Since I did that, it was working all perfect. This is on weird things. Working all perfectly when I was trying it on my desk. I mounted it up, hot glued it in, as you can see there. And as of today, I've been keeping an eye on it, and it's just on all the time. So I need to go back and work out, do I have a memory leak or something in my code, or something else going on. But that bit was very much specific. When I unplugged the antenna input to it, it would turn off. I need to do some more tests with ATV specifically, just to make sure that maybe that's just a fake bit or something like that, or it might only work on proper real television, and because there's, I don't know, noise or something in the background or whatever, it's not detecting properly. But I'm going to probably put it down to my crappy code at the moment, and try and work out that. But the idea of that, when I show you some video in a minute, you'll see I've got a light on my receiver box. So as part of my receiver box, I've been building up a 1U rack mount chassis that I probably had for 15-20 years or something like that. Been saving up for a good project. Been drilling holes basically. These D-type little connectors are really handy, and I might just flick over to shaky cam for a second for that. So you can get these in all sorts of things. So drilling one hole, it means I can change what I want to do later on. So USB 3 on that one, that's a USB-C, network, Cat6, HDMI. I've also got, there's USB 2s available as well. And obviously I've done some 3D printing, and you'll see on the back of mine for the F connectors for the antenna input, I've just 3D printed some little custom ones. But it's a standard 24mm hole, so pretty big. Pretty much any sort of socket you can fit in that one. Anyone that's been in the industry would know that these sort of panels were used for like XLR microphones and things like that in the industry. Some of us might even have some of those lying around still. But yeah, that was, I've decided to use those so I can move things around. And this is the front panel. I changed it a little bit just from the previous capture you saw. But yeah, I'm doing a bit of a hole punch and drilling some pilot holes and things like that. Getting that one working. But what I'll do is I'll start with the back, and I'll just show you a quick video. So on the back I've got all the HDMI outputs from the receivers, so hopefully 2 from each. A blank, I don't know what I'm going to do with that yet. DVB-T and DVB-S RF inputs, a USB-C for the capture boxes that'll be in it, and future networking and power, all just on the back there. And if I go to the front, power switch obviously, and then we've got for first set-top box, the USB and HDMI on the front, so USB so you can program the box and everything. Same for set-top box 2, and I'll just pause it here for a second. These 2 holes, again 24mm, they're just the standard. One's for the infrared receiver. I'm going to custom 3D print a little thing to mount the infrared receiver in there. And the other one I'm not sure yet, that's just a blank. I might do a little OLED display because the set-top boxes are hidden inside, so I can actually see that LED display that's normally on the front of the set-top boxes. I might potentially put an extra little display, but the display on the front of the set-top boxes really isn't that useful, so I'm not sure if I'll do that yet. That might just stay a blank, but I wanted to drill it so I don't do more bits of aluminium and crap like that inside the case later. And a few switches, the 2 on the right, so you can turn on and off the infrared for each set-top box, so you can either control none of them, so it won't answer to any remote control if you've got more of these set-top boxes in your shack. You can actually flick it off, so these will just stay as they are. Flick one on or flick both off on, whatever you want to do. So if you want to do the same thing on both, flick them both on and they'll both follow the same commands. Top left, analog audio. I thought these have an audio output, so I'm just going to chuck probably an audio out on the back, potentially with that spare one. So you can flick between set-top box 1 and 2 on which analog output. And the bottom left button is just there to make a hole not be a hole. So not sure what I'll do with that one yet. And yes, you can see there, nice big LED light. When ATV is on the air, the idea is that will glow, so you know someone's transmitting. So that's a good little useful thing, hopefully. Just makes me a bit more aware. I do have a screen here, but it's right off literally to my side at 90 degrees, so I don't always see it, but a light like that hopefully I'll see. So that's what I've been up to. A few little bits and pieces and projects and things like that. They'll continue to be worked on. But I suppose the main thing I want to close off with is I did this 3 weeks ago, and this Friday I'm going to be hopefully doing it again. Barak, the Bendigo Amateur Radio Club, I'm going to be transmitting on VK3RTV their talk for the month. So this month it's Flex Radio, a new era in amateur radio, so that might be interesting. The one last month was actually on high power tube transmitters, and that was some interesting thing around safety and things like that. That was a very interesting talk as well. So yeah, that's good. That's what I've been up to. I've waffled on for plenty long enough. I think if you want to get ready, I'll hand it off in a second, but thank you everyone. I'll chuck a couple of links up on the Discord if you want to get to what I've got, probably the little all-star box. At least I'll chuck the link up there for everyone, and once I do have the code working, fingers crossed, on the GT Media receive light, I will chuck that up on GitHub and into the Discord as well, so everyone's got a link if you want to go and program an @tiny to do that with your GT Media box. That will be hopefully up and working again, fingers crossed. So alright, thank you very much all. I think it's back over to Neil now, so thank you very much. Catch you again later.
Right, thanks for that, Steve. That's some serious project work you've got there. I'm impressed. And look, any work you're doing on the key line out of receiver, we'll all be very interested in that, especially Peter, with regards to finding receivers for the repeater. It's very difficult to find a receiver that has the PTT line out, or the key line out. So please keep us informed on what's going on there. So that'll be good to find out about that. And really great work with your projects. I was going to show a small video from VK3FS. He does a lot of microwave work, but time's moving on and there are other stations. But what I was going to say is, you probably hear us talking about microwave a lot on this band, on the net. That's because a lot of the ATVs are microwavers, and one of the easiest and cheapest way to get onto microwave is to buy one of these SG Lab transverters. That's SG Labs or sglabs.com. Yeah, .com. Just look them up. I've got all of the transverters that they produce: the 1.2, 2.4, 3.4, and the 5.7. Very cheap, very nicely made, and VK3FS has got a few videos on these units. So for anyone that's pondering getting on the microwaves, that doesn't want to outlay a lot of money or just wants to dip their feet, get the 1.2 version and a small beam, and you're away on microwave. So we're going to put it across to Ian, if you want to come up. I didn't indicate who was coming up next, so Ian, VK3QL, if you want to get ready, put it across to Mick, VK3CH, and then Mick straight back to me. Now, I'm not sure what I mentioned earlier, it's probably too late now, but there is Richard's VK3VRS's YouTube and Discord stream. I don't know whether I mentioned that at the start of the net, but that's another way to watch the net. So, Ian, get ready. I'm on... What am I on? I'm on T, so it's going to be a lousy cutover, so please take it away, Ian. Just going to go over it.
Good evening and welcome to television.
Great. All right, thanks, Neil. And yeah, great projects there, Steve. Yes, the key line out of those receivers is quite difficult to pull that out. There was something else I was going to... Oh, I was going to mention the YouTube channel that Richard is running. It's on VK3VRS and on YouTube, and we have David Martin G8KOE and Richard obviously, and we also have G7JTT John, who's been filling in for Colin while he's working on his daily net. So I saw him this morning our time, so that was great. Had some military aircraft information that he's been following, and it's all been very interesting. Also, yes, and that power lead that you mentioned, Stephen, it's been that I wasn't aware of those, so yeah, that's a good find there, very handy. All right, rabbiting on a bit. Now there'll be questions in the exam paper at the end of the year on this particular topic that the next clip covers. It covers FEC and its impact on transmissions, DVB-T, oh no, it's S actually, 2 transmissions. And so why did we change the FEC? What impact does it have as we go higher and lower? So you better pay attention because it will be on the exam paper. Take it away, Simon.
The reason for using a higher or lower FEC, depending which way you look at it, the reason John is running an FEC of 2/5 is he is transmitting a weaker signal. So if you're transmitting a weaker signal and you use you have more error correction bits, then your weaker signal can be decoded. And if you want, I mean, assuming I am actually answering providing an answer to the question, just down here on the table, this is what you need to find. You'll find this on the internet. And let's see if this will come up. Yes, it should do. Come on, let's see. You want this standard, and if you send me an email, I can give you a link to it. You want this standard, and then it's about, let's see, how many pages is it? It's a fantastic document, 80, it's only 80 pages. You want chapter 6, and chapter 6 shows the spectral efficiency for all the different FECs, and it shows how, if using the lower FEC ratio, which John is using, how that works with his lower transmit, or well, with his weaker signal. If the signal you're receiving is strong, there's no need to have a lot of the bandwidth consumed by forward error correction. But when you've got weak signals, and some of the very distant, far away, some of the very weak satellite transmissions will use a lot of forward error correction. I don't want to go too much into that, but it's also in my own software. It's actually on the receive side. It is the forward error correction. It's running the LDPC, low density parity check software. That takes a lot of CPU, particularly if it's to work well, and it's an area which a lot of researchers are always working on. So I hope I have sort of answered your question, Mike, and I'm more than happy to provide more info, but then again I could well have got the wrong end of the stick. If we get up to no, we'll never be doing this with QO100, but something like 32 APSK, we're on quadrature phase shift keying, but it goes up to 32. You'd need one heck of a strong signal, you really would, but we could get quite some data rate.
Great. So thanks, Simon, for enlightening us on that. I've always been a bit puzzled with FEC and why you set to particular standards, and I thought that was quite a good coverage of the topic. And certainly, if you want to follow up more, there's a reference for that. Now, the next thing I was going to cover was the ISS.
Let's have a look at the International Space Station passes for Melbourne over the next week.
5QI. VK5QI, VK2 Alpha Zulu, QS56. VK2 Alpha Zulu. Quebec, India, yep, you have big strong signal here, 5 and 9. Cheers, 73. 73, thank you.
So not only is the FM repeater operating, but the packet system is also working, and also ham TV for the most part is powered on. From memory, I think it's still just displaying a blank screen, but it is able to be received, and I believe there's some schools on the air programming coming up. So do look up the website on Ham TV, or search the wiki for Ham TV to the BATC wiki for Ham TV to find out what's the best way to, or what are the options for receiving it.
Did you know that a video edition of the WIA News broadcast is screened here, VK3RTV Channel 1 by Clint VK3CSJ, every Sunday morning at 10:30 a.m, repeated Sunday evening at 8 p.m.
And just on the Clint's transmissions to locally, he is also, from memory, transmitting AM. I think it's 1825 AM transmission of the WIA News half-hour broadcast from 9:30 every Sunday morning, local time. So if you're interested in listening to AM again or checking out your AM reception, there's an option there too, as well as the regular broadcasts on ATV and 80 metres. All right, the next thing is if we look at the weather for Melbourne for the next 5 days, we see some rather changes in Thursday. Oh, actually, that's interesting. That's supposed to be Wednesday. Anyway, Thursday is going to be 31 according to the Bureau, and then it drops to 18, a high. But why I'm dwelling on this is the Tropo charts for the next few days and coming up to the weekend. It's quite interesting, some new developments. So that's been a lot more interesting than it has been over the last few months for tropospheric conditions.
When you find yourself on a solar weather website and you see three measurements front and centre on your screen, have you ever wondered what they actually mean? Solar Flux Index, SFI, Sunspot Number, SSN, and Area are three indices used to measure solar activity along with R and KP values. Let's take a look at what these values mean to amateur radio.
Sunny, TANI, and I'm located near Osaka, CTH Nawa, November Alpha, Radio Alpha.
So this video, as well as quite a few others, very interesting productions, quite to the point, less than 10 minutes mostly, and yeah, so a great way of learning more about the hobby that radio amateurs dabble in. So yeah, great resource. Andrew's videos on his YouTube channel VK3VRS. Let's try that again. VK3FS. So that's his call sign. Search VK3FS. Right. Last week we had the easier set of questions. So this set of questions this week are a little bit more difficult.
This digital TV repeater tour takes us south of Melbourne to Tasmania, Australia's enchanting island state, gateway to the Antarctic. In the north of the state, Tony, VK3RTV, digital ATV transmitter in Ulverstone, comes alive most weeknights from 7 p.m. and again on weekend mornings, all viewable on the BATC streamer and whereby. Down south, don't miss the weekly digital amateur television experimenters gathering, broadcast every Wednesday at 7:30 p.m. on VK7OTC. This is live streamed on the Reese Hobart YouTube channel. Past editions also available on the YouTube channel. Before we wrap up, let's take a look at the 5-day weather outlook for Hobart, Tasmania's charming capital city. Right, says me on the side. The next segment I was just going to cover before I sign off is, so Mick, you might like to start getting ready. VK3CH, Mick in Doncaster is our next customer on the net. All right, so the event calendar. That's what I've got listed for November through to February. Is Rosebud Hamfest or Radio Fest on Sunday the 16th, and there's remember that the spring VHF, UHF, etc. up. Into the microwave sphere field day is on 22nd, 23rd of November, and also Ballarat has announced their radio hamvention for Sunday the 1st of September, so next year at the Ballarat Airport, this usual venue there. So that's always a great event to look forward to. Right, so that finishes me for tonight. I'll just roll my outro and drop carrier on the K, Mick, so if you'd like to follow, that would be great. This is VK3 Quebec Lima signing off for this evening's net.
VK3RTV provides a digital
Okay. All right. Looks like it says we're on. So good evening, everyone. We're Mick, VK3CH, operating out of Doncaster. So good evening, everybody. I don't have a heck of a lot to tell you today. Let's see. We've got another one of the microwave activity days I see is scheduled for this Sunday. And the weather's saying just maybe a little bit of rain here. But of course, up in King Lake, anything that's a little bit here could be a little bit more up there. but we'll just sort of keep our eye on the weather. We want to set up, so we'll see. We'll make the decision probably closer to the day. I'm sure others will go out in their respective spots, so we'll see what's there. Good to see people building stuff, and yeah, that's one thing we certainly don't have a 3D printer. So I've seen people do a lot of interesting things with that, but yeah, probably won't be ever buying one of those. That's about all I've really got. Haven't really been doing much else since the other busy bits, doing the testing the squid pole with the new attachment on the roof of the car. We actually went to Doncaster Shopping Town in some of the inner levels, the post office side of Doncaster Shopping Town. We don't often go there as much, and the extra welded on bit didn't strike anything, as I thought it wouldn't. So yeah, all good. All right, that's about all we've really got, so I'll hand it back to Neil, and yeah, maybe we'll be putting some microwave signals out this Sunday, hopefully. So we'll catch you later. Cheers.
Right, thanks Mick. That was short and sweet today, but thanks for coming up. Now, I did mention about the SG Lab transverters earlier. Now, I need to mention that if you go to the website, the SG Labs website, you won't see all the transverters, but you might see this one, the 1.2, but he doesn't advertise the prices, and he doesn't advertise each unit. He's got the 1.2 and I think the 2.4, but the 3.7 and 5.7 he doesn't actually advertise. So you need to send him an email. He'll give you the price of each unit and the postage, which is quite reasonable, and it takes about 3, maybe 4 weeks to arrive, and they always do arrive from Bulgaria. So for people that are interested in going microwaves with these cheap SG Lab transverters, good stuff, really good stuff. So just thought I'd mention that. That's all for this evening. It's been a great night, just on an hour, so it's been a really, really good night tonight. A lot of guys on, and hopefully we'll see you all next week. And we have, it was up to 19 watching before, it's back down to 15, but thanks for watching, everyone. We'll see you all next week. Cheers all.